Hey guys, it might be a bit of an echo and you might be able to hear a bit of a engine in the background. That's the generator that we've got going. So I haven't done a video for a while, so I'll just give a bit of an update on what's going on, a few insights over the past week with the floods and what have you. First, I'd like to share my son Bo. He had his first sort of Satori moment, which was pretty special. When the main day of the floods, I can't remember what day it was. It was the main day that was like, there was a mental amount of rainfall. I think we got nearly 1 meter of rain. And where we are on the mountain, we knew it was heavy, but we didn't really understand the magnitude of what was going on the ground. Obviously we'd lost power, we'd lost internet and things like that. So me and Fletcher, because two of our neighbours came up and said, like they've never seen anything like it. One of them had a mudslide on his property and what have you. So basically, me and Fletcher went down, and it was an eye opener. It was pretty incredible. There was people there was one family that we were talking to, and there was probably 20 meters between us and them, and just a flowing river of and it tore away their bridge. So they were stranded on their property, couldn't get across, but they were not in danger of flooding, fortunately enough. But even where we were standing had been flooded. Like I think it was 5 a.m. that morning was when it was at its worst, and they've lost some cows. But to look at, it was insane. Like the grass was just flat, the whole width of that area, and it's obviously hard for you to imagine it. If someone was explaining it to me and I knew the area, it would be hard to imagine. But when you're there, it was incredible. And just the sheer magnitude and power of it was pretty devastating. We saw an old couple walking up the mountain with a plastic bag with their belongings in it, and just an umbrella, and they just lost their home after 37 years. So I hope there is a few GoFundMes and whatever to try and raise money, because I think they only had content insurance, and it was just insane. It was crazy. But when we went down the day after, and I was with Bo, and all the neighbours were out, and there was a lot of people coming together, and people were saying what they've lost and what they experienced and whatever. But there was a duck. There was a little duck just sitting in like a flooded area, and Bo said to me, he said, "Look at that duck, Dad." And I said, "I know." He said, "He looks so happy." And I said, "Well, with all due respect, he doesn't have anything, doesn't carry any material possessions, so he's got nothing to lose." In the Taoist tradition, I think it was in Chuang-Tzu's Inner Chapters, he said, the swan flies in the sky, following no particular path, carrying nothing, and leaving nothing in its tracks. And this is the Taoist way. It's to follow nature's way, to not have any possessions to lose. So that everyone's panicking and doing what they do around, but the duck was just doing its thing in peace. And at the time, Bo just said to me, "Look at that duck, it looks really happy." But all through that day, he kept reflecting on it, and he said to me, he said, "Dad, that duck gave me so much insight. He said, every time I think about it, I want to cry because I got so much insight from it. And I said, son, that's a satori. It's a moment of insight or enlightenment that keeps you going on your journey. So that was really special. And he had another insight. I'm trying to think what it was. He had another really beautiful insight. He had another beautiful experience, actually. We were down in Mullumbimby and we had to hitchhike a ride because my wife's car, don't know where it came from, but there's a flood there. There's a hole in her sunroof, so the car's just flooded. And I'd just sold my car, so we walked. Plus, we couldn't get out. The drive out of where we are, we couldn't cross because it was just too bad. It'd been washed away. So we decided to walk to the shops, and it's probably 10k there, 10k back, but we just decided we'd walk it anyway. And we hitchhiked the lift with a beautiful man who was there just to help people. So we all jumped in the back of his van, and we were soaking wet. We got to Mullumbimby, and this old woman, probably about 80, 85, she comes out the shops and she starts telling us that a t-shirt and her pants are literally the only thing she's got left. She's lost everything. She's from Lismore, and she was looking for an op shop. So as we were directing her where to go, she saw Bo, and she was very beautiful. She had really beautiful clear eyes, lovely blue eyes. And she opened the purse and she said, I've got something for you. And she said, and she had $10, two $5 notes, and she gave both of them to Bo as a gift. And Bo accepted it. And Danielle said, you accepted it. So she accepted it. He said, thank you so much. And it was such a beautiful lesson for Bo. One, they don't make them like they used to. The old school are just so, it's just so beautiful and so kind and selfless, like my parents and my grandparents. But that was a big impression on Bo as well. And he said he's definitely going to pay her kindness forward, but it was a great example. I mean, Bo will probably remember that for the rest of his life. A woman has got nothing left, and she gave her last $10 cash anyway to Bo. So it was a few beautiful experiences. I was talking to Fletcher, and yesterday and today we were meant to get 70 mils of rain, which is a lot of rain because all of the natural water pathways down the mountain are damaged now. It would flood very easy, and so 70 mil for 2 days would have been a big amount of rain. Okay, it would have overflowed again where we've been working so hard to fix. But it hasn't rained. Okay, it's been beautiful for 2 days. Now, I've shared this story many times. I've shared it in my presentation of Greg Braden when a native Indian elder asked him, does he want to go and pray for rain in New Mexico, where he lives, when they had one of the worst droughts on their record. Long story short, Greg says yes, they go there, and I'll speed this story up. And the elder basically takes his boots off, stands in this stone circle, and as Greg's taking his boots off, by the time he gets his boots off and goes to meet his indigenous friend, the elder said, we're finished, well, let's go and get something to eat. He said, well, I thought we were praying for rain. He said, what have you just done? And the elder said, my ancestors taught me that you never pray for rain. The feeling of praying for something, asking for something, the feeling inside the body is that you don't have it. And the field, nature responds to what you're feeling in the body. So he said, you never pray for rain. You stand in the circle, you feel the rain, mud in between your toes, you smell the damp in the air, you feel it on your skin, and he said, you are then given gratitude for rain, and gratitude carries the vibrational signature that it's already happened, right? And this is what native Indian rain dances, they're dancing in the rain. They're saying thank you for the rain. And Greg said, I can't prove it scientifically, but what happened after that was amazing. We got floods, it rained for like a week or 2 weeks straight, right? Now, I'm telling you that story because Greg said, I can't prove it scientifically. He said, but we can sort of logically explain why this phenomena could take place because the Schumann resonance, the Earth's magnetic field, is in harmony with the electromagnetic field of the heart. So, you know, the heart could draw in what it's experiencing, and especially, you know, they've proven this, that the more people focus on with the same coherent energy, the faster or the more powerful the manifestation is of what they're feeling, okay? Now I share this because my teacher says traditionally in Chinese wisdom, floods, okay, are linked to greed, okay? Now as an observation, what's been fascinating is this COVID period that we've had, I believe has actually been a very selfish time, okay? Everyone's been right, everyone's been living in a lot of drama, everyone's been fighting over toilet rolls, everyone's been, you know, this is the selfie era, it's the self, taking photos of the false self, the selfie era. And this COVID time has been very divisive. People are right, you're wrong. No, I'm right and you're wrong. And it's been a massive ego time, and the ego attacks and defends. So, with this, I'm not saying that this is what's caused the floods, but I'm just just connecting some dots because even though people are saying the weather's manipulated and all the rest of it, which it is, there's no doubt about that. I mean, that's open in the public domain. You can research geoengineering and there's definitely a reality to that. But just as how when 9/11 happened, and it's in my presentation if you want to check this out, the research, when 9/11 happened, the whole world tuned into the same information. And rather than the Earth's magnetic field influencing humanity, which is how it typically always does it, the whole world watched the same information, moved into high emotional heart-based states, not all good, some were angry, some were compassionate, some were hateful, some were loving. But the power of the collective human consciousness moving into heart-based emotions had a reverse effect, and we influence the Earth's magnetics. And we now know that when the Earth's magnetics are high, we are more cooperative and more in harmony. And when they're low, we are more divided and we are more angry and not cooperative, okay? So when you look at this COVID time and the weather, okay, we've been smashed with rain, a meter of rain in a day. What's happened is everyone's come together. You know, we were talking about a cashless society. Nowhere's got electricity or Wi-Fi to use cards in the area. Every single shop, Woolies, Coles, everything is cash only. Petrol, cash only. So isn't that interesting? We've gone from, we can catch a virus through cash and trying to get rid of cash. Well, no. Now everyone needs cash. Great coincidence. No one's wearing masks. COVID's gone out the window. No one is 2 meters apart. Everyone's hugging each other. Everyone's stroking each other's face. COVID is just gone out the window, okay? So, why I'm sharing this is because now everybody's come together and the focus is not on themselves, the focus is on how can we help the community. It's been beautiful. My wife's been crying a lot watching the videos, and there's people still need help, guys. There's still people isolated who have not got access to fresh water. It still needs a lot of help. But while we've come together, I'm just putting it out there, the conversation I had with Fletcher, I believe that this collective selflessness and love and care, I believe has changed the weather. I really do. We've had literally 2 days that were meant to be 60, 70 mils of rain a day, and it's been hot, it's been warm, and it's been sunny, okay? So that's just something I thought I'd share. In terms of the cleanup, Mullum's looking good, but there's a lot of surrounding areas. I haven't been down to Lismore yet. We'll probably go down once the water starts moving away and they start helping with the cleanups. It's unfortunate in terms of some of the news reports. I don't stay on top of the news and I haven't been on top of social media, but a few of the groups I'm in, they've been sending videos of how mainstream media is basically saying we've got it under control up here, we don't need much help and all the rest of it. That's not the case. A lot of people do need help. They're asking to end the vaccine mandates as well, because apparently the SCS has lost half their staff and they're not letting people help them unless they're vaccinated. And there's a few full-on things still happening. One thing I always stress, hands on the ground, very important, okay? We need that. But we still need the balance with the physical world and the spiritual world. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, if you are holding the peace and coherence energy in your heart. I'm not going to touch on the Ukraine situation, but just turn that news off. If we're being told something, the chances are it's a reverse. In fact, I would put my house, even though I don't have a house, I'd put my car on. Everything we're getting told in the news is a lie. That's what it's there to do, okay? I'm not saying there's nothing happening somewhere, but what we get told is purely to keep us in fear, okay? And it's an inversion of the truth, so forget about that, turn it off for now. And if you believe it, which is all good, send your love there to all beings. This counts. This absolutely makes a difference. The people around here, we need all your love and your best wishes. If anybody does want to donate, I took that post down, but if anyone does want to donate, I've just been buying things like water, fuel is a big one, and food. They don't need clothes at the minute, and there's a lot of things they don't need around here, but that might change once we can get into Lismore. So yeah, I send all my love, a bit of an update as to what's going on here, and take care. I love you all. Bye bye.